So it's a fossil-free QEB organised demonstration, which is the culmination of a couple of weeks campaigning up until the 14th of October, at which the University Investment Committee are meeting to discuss whether they're going to divest from fossil fuels. They've accepted our proposal. We've submitted an academic proposal, but it's a group of staff, students, representatives from civic society across the political spectrum as well, just showing their support for a truly sort of inclusive campaign that really sort of brings political activism back to Queen's. It's quite simple. The 2 degree safe limit that the world needs to stay within as far as global warming goes by 2050, it looks now that we're well out of reach, and this is a very urgent and immediate campaign. You only have to look as far as the Lower Omer before you see the immediate effects of climate change, and Belfast will be hit in many ways, and so have other cities will, and this will affect everyone, and it goes across sort of political boundaries of religion or political or national identity. It's a truly urgent campaign, and students have really latched onto it. It's immediate demand. We're asking Queen's to divest immediately, and it will make a significant sort of impact on the fossil fuel industry immediately.
Well, I'm actually a committee member of the Geography Society, and we as a society are quite dedicated to the fact of climate change and anything that we can do really to help divestment. I was quite shocked that Queen's, considering the fact that they try and give a reputation as a low carbon university, continues to invest in fossil fuels. And so on behalf of the Geography Society, I'm down here to represent our students to pressurise Queen's into divesting.
We've seen, serious cuts to the incentives for renewable energy, and particularly by the UK government. And in fact, here in Northern Ireland, there's a likelihood that the renewables are going to be cut in 2016 rather than what was originally planned in 2017. So I think that there's an awful lot more that we could be doing. We could be, for example, following in the example of Paris, which is required that all new buildings have solar panels on the roof, or putting much more incentives in for people to buy the likes of electric cars. There's a lot more that we could be doing, and unfortunately we're not there yet.
All leading climate scientists, including the former NASA climate scientists, says there's a high possibility that over the next 50 years there will be global temperature will increase by 4 degrees. If that's the case, then it will be all the polar ice caps will melt, and there will be an absolutely devastating impact on the world, on everybody, but especially on the poor. So I think Queen's, what they need to do is actually make it clear they're on the side of people, on the right side of history, so to speak, and standing up against climate change and against climate chaos, and standing on the side of people who are exposing what's happening. I know already if universities in Canada, universities in Britain have done this, so there's no reason why Queen's cannot do it.
I mean, everybody says about the wider green movement, all you care about is saving the planet, but it's about the people. It's about the people on the planet. We care about the planet will go on no matter what we do.
Time after time after time, there's been talks about addressing climate change, be it Copenhagen or be in any other city. The governments have continuously failed. I think even more so, this Tory government, when it was first elected, claimed to be the most greenest government ever. Emissions are increasing, and I think governments are falling way below the mark to actually address and take the radical and necessary measures which are needed.
Russell Group universities like Oxford, Edinburgh, UCL, LSE, truly transformative and world-leading institutions in academia have already taken the brave decision to divest. Queen's need to be on the right side of history on this. This is the fastest growing grassroots movement on planet Earth. In September of 2014, there was $50 billion divested from fossil fuels. September 2015, last month, there was $2.6 trillion. It's an incredible campaign. It's got an incredible amount of momentum, and Queen's really need to seize that opportunity.
I mean, the latest research that came out of Bloomberg New Energy Finance has clearly proven that onshore wind without any subsidies is actually the cheapest form of energy going forward. I don't think we need nuclear energy. I think we can have an energy transition where we have a demand management on one side and renewables on the other, and that is technologically and economically entirely possible. We're just waiting for the politics to catch up.
Ireland is obviously very proficient in wind and in tidal sort of energy potential, but this campaign isn't about trying to move the university's sort of energy infrastructure that they use to heat and power the place to renewable energies. They're doing a very good job of that themselves, but we can't continue to let them be hypocritical in supporting a low carbon future. And you can see our banner behind us. It says a high carbon future. And then continue to sort of pollute the environment and actively financially support those that do it. The majority of divestment campaigns across Britain have sort of agreed to a 5-year divestment schedule. Now that means that with an investment portfolio as large as Queen's has, it's about £59 million. Our estimates are probably about £2.5 to £5 million invested in fossil fuels. To try and take that out of over 5 years, it's not an overwhelming financial decision they need to make. It's an ethical choice, and the pressure is now on them to make that choice.
At the minute, I don't think it's too late. I think there's still opportunity for us to invest in renewable energy and get on board. We're going to have to take more drastic measures than if we'd started this earlier, but I still think it's possible to make a change now.